I feel
People are
loose.
warmed up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Wow. Um, well, I guess welcome to the Timbo Team podcast.
That's our applause. I was trying to just like the old school way of just lighting a
Oh,
lighter.
okay. I feel you. I was like, what are
Purple.
you trying to do? Yeah, so we're recording this episode because we realized that we've recorded 100 episodes. So this will be our 100th. Well, actually, this is 101st or maybe 102nd. I don't know. But this is going to come out 100th.
I mean, at this point, we have had to have had at least over like 200 hours of footage and shit. Wow, right when we
Oh
set the
yeah, I think. Oh, I didn't do the math. I should have. I forgot. But
yeah, I mean, we're the big time now, man. We've been sitting on our asses and recording like our thoughts for far too long. I mean, who's gonna stop us at this point, man? We're at
you
100
know,
episodes.
you
I
know
mean,
what's crazy?
but
We have 30 reviews on Spotify. It's actually like pretty solid number.
hell yeah, like
Yeah,
30 people the time to review it, man. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those are honest.
4.2.
I mean, think
4.2 stars, man.
we're super niche, dude. Like
We are.
we've grown from like a niche within a niche, and we've tried to expand from that one like swancore little dance Gavin dance into like everything that is like post hardcore, and then you go into our like second season where we're talking about like MySpace centric bands or bands influenced by MySpace. We've had like sheer astonishing mentions of like Linkin Park from people's influences and stuff. I mean, we've kind of covered a lot. I mean, we've like even from the get-go, we even started talking about like alt metal and like new metal and talking shit about Drowning Pool and stuff. So it's just like it's fun to have a podcast about music and that how much we've covered in over 100 episodes, even though some people might like claim it's just like inane ramblings from like some bored kids. But I mean, we're in our
Yeah.
30s,
I
so we're
mean, they're
not
not totally wrong.
we're man children, if anything.
We are man children. Man children.
Man
Anyway,
child.
but yeah, this is kind of great. Like this kind of snuck up on us anyways. I don't know, was it looking on Spotify or Apple? I don't know, but it said it showed me episode plus 95 other episodes, and I was like, what? Or 98 other, I say 95 because then that would make this episode very premature. All
Well, we
right,
could always
92, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh fuck, maybe we were maybe this is our 101st episode actually. Well, I don't know.
101 episodes. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were doing the 50th episode celebration, and we acted like it was such a huge, giant milestone and shouting
Even though
out.
we miscounted that one too. We're just
Yeah,
not very good at counting, it turns out.
no, I volunteer like that information that I'm not good at math. I don't really keep up with calculating stuff. Like I'm horrible at it. I'm not good. I like stats though. You know, I like the idea of stats and like seeing how many, you know, the numbers on stuff like from like our March Madness poll, just seeing like the sheer numbers of people that would just vote and like
Yeah,
and like keep showing up. And it was crazy. That was a good time. That was like April, March, March Madness.
March Madness. March.
I mean,
That was cool.
it kind of went for like a long ass time and just like I mean we keep doing polls, so I mean I guess the days kind of like all blend
I think
together.
it went for, yeah, I think it went for like, I don't even know. I mean, 3 weeks. No, I started in February because I was like, I think this is
Yeah,
gonna go for a long time.
I wanted to get a little. I think it started like the day before March started. So
Yeah. I
like,
think it was because that was like a Monday. And I was
and
like, or that was like, so I could like start at the beginning of the week and just get it done. Like,
you were
even
like,
though,
oh, I'm gonna do like six or like seven. You know, like little. You just said it's going to be this one thing, and then we just saw kind of like the gears turn on it, and like the
oh
amount of
yeah.
show up, and I was like, maybe we can widen the brackets out a little bit, and just like the amount of time you took like calculating all the bands that actually like got votes and like people who showed up for.
Okay. Well, that was also Augie. He did it. Well, all right. So here's what happened. I counted out the reacts for that,
Mhm.
and I was like, I think I fucked this up, and like I can't, and there's no way I could go back and recount it because then I would just fuck it up more. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
you're like, you know how that is, like,
Yeah.
and so I was like, does somebody want to help me do this? And so Augie volunteered, and
Yeah.
um, I would say I was like 95% right, but I did definitely mess up. But it ended up, I don't think it really affected who was in the polls. It was like, I think like maybe Green Day might have almost made it, and I would, and the way I counted it, they would have not. Well, I mean, they didn't even make it anyways, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it didn't
I mean,
really matter. But no, it was huge help, honestly. And actually, I think it kind of switched around a few people who did make it into the field.
oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
that wasn't even like
Actually, that
what?
I think Augie helping me count, I think that kept out A Day to Remember, which I would say probably, I mean, I guess I don't know that right now. I don't think it's people have strong opinions about it right now, but at the time, I think, I mean, obviously, I'm probably just gonna keep A Day to Remember out, but at the time, I think if A Day to Remember made it, that would have been a little controversial because I think that was still kind of a sore topic.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's something that the band itself still hasn't addressed. And I mean,
Yeah, they just said, we'll
the weird
just become uh butt rock and not worry about it.
it's like the same thing with trap, like these people can be horrible, awful, and do terrible things, or they can be alleged or confirmed, and they still got to make a living, and they still go out there and play shows. People still show up. Other bands that have nothing to do with it, in terms of they're just on the same bill, but you're still got to keep working. So I understand where there is definitely like a weird gray area for some
Music's
people.
hard. Like you
Yeah,
gotta like you gotta work pretty hard to get to the level of some of these bands, and
yeah.
it's and I'm not talking about A Day to Remember. I'm talking
Lots
about
of
a band who would be on the same bill as A Day to Remember, like did fucked up shit, and it took forever for them to just end up kicking out the guy. And I think they probably could have handled that a lot better. But I will say,
did
like
they
a band who's on the same bill as A Day to Remember, that's kind of a huge deal. I don't know if you can just turn that down if that's your dream to do music. But
I mean, it's the nature of
yeah,
the
it's real. That's like one of those. Yeah, but I don't know why we're talking about this right now.
I mean,
We're supposed to
consider
be celebrating ourselves.
yeah, definitely some scissoring you can do around here. Just like
Oh, I bet you'd like some scissoring, Ryan.
depends on who with. I mean, she's got to be, but
um, I mean, I guess last time we did like a reintroduction. I don't know. Should we do that,
what
or is that
reintroduce it
lame?
for Ryan and Cash at this point? I mean, that intro used to go a little longer back in the day, but I mean, it's still just you and me. I mean, it's always been
Just the
just,
two of us. Yeah,
the,
we're the core.
yeah.
We're the core of the core podcast.
What I was going through, like I brought up March Madness, which was like something that I feel like we had a good like time with, and like our terms with like the demo team podcast and interacting with our like audience. I mean, that wasn't even probably not even like the biggest point like for us that like this year. I mean, while in terms of engagement and reach and shit, like blah blah blah. Yeah, it was fun.
Andrew Wells maybe, but
Yeah, well, interviewing Andrew Wells is pretty dope. I mean, even having like the front page scene media like scoop on like a Skylit Drive like coming back was pretty cool too. I mean,
oh yeah,
we're like the only people making games on that. Like that was pretty cool. And just to get like noticed in like some form of notoriety, not just from like the fans, but like the dudes in the band themselves, whether positive or negative. Like, I mean, I would definitely like not like to go through the negative ever again. But the positive, just like the ASD dudes were really cool and appreciative of that.
yeah.
And they had very kind sentiments like when I met them in person. And it was like really cool to like see like what we do, whether it just be talking on a podcast or just making content that kind of just like makes people aware of something that's going on, whether it be a new track or a band that just slaps dummy hard and can make a funny little poll or a funny little meme. They just kind of like get some attention, and it's just like it lets a lot of people in on a little like fun activity. And I feel like with that Skylit Drive AST thing, we kind of had with like local band Smoke Out, kind of had like a nice little thing that kind of just like drove traffic to us, which was really cool. Just to have like all the positive that came with that, like I would not change that for the world. I think that was one of our coolest little scoops that we kind of like were on the front lines of.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's mostly Ryan too. It was his idea originally to interview Jordan Blake, and it kind of got a lot of balls rolling doing that.
I mean, everyone likes a good comeback story, and I think like with the way they've been handling everything and kind of just like not engaging in any of the silly drama like some people here, um, they like took the high road, and they like, they're handling it like professionals while still carrying on and doing like playing great shows like the Wet Festival, like Blue Ridge, like that, like they're a part of a lot of like the big happenings that are happening this year. And just the fact that we always have those episodes in our catalog, and the fact that like I can talk to Jordan Blake and he'll be like, oh, do you want me to come back on? And it's like, yeah, sure, hell yeah. Like just to have them like, just to have a good rapport with a band. And I think we've always had that with a majority of bands that we've always like given the, I wouldn't say limelight, but some of our airtime to like talk about what they like. And like last week when we had a Golden Week on, they were just talking about like what an honor it was, and like kind of like just with our like back catalog and the artists that have been on here, like how much it means to come on this show, which I mean, that made me feel good about myself. And it makes me feel like what we built here means something, to some degree. And if we just keep plugging along and pushing through, I mean, episode 50 it doesn't even feel that long ago. I feel like I
It
can
really
remember.
doesn't. Like this year feels like it blended together.
When did episode 50 come out? I feel like
over a year ago.
Really?
Came out 2 Mays ago. I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah.
Time goes by fast.
Oh yeah, I'm just like, I'm thinking about like bands we interviewed in like January and like February this year, and I'm like, well, actually that's the opposite. It feels so long ago. I was like, was that years ago? And I was like, nope, that was just in.
Yeah.
It's been a very eventful year, I think, for both of us.
I think like because I saw a memory. I fucking hate the sun, but I posted a memory for the Ben Rosette episode, and that was just
too.
2 years ago, man. It's just like that was episode 20. I was like, I think that's 20. I'm pretty sure it's 20 or not.
Back on. Yeah, that was I mean, I can check real quick.
We're fighting shadows here, man. This is
I know. We are like in the wrong parts of where we live right now, very clearly. All
like,
right,
look,
let's find Ben Rosette.
This is like the most epic.
20.
Dude, this is a band photo right here. It's like
I got like a nice little trapezoid on my face because
I love
the sun's reflecting through the window behind me and then hitting this mirror that's behind my laptop and then reflecting back in my face.
Yeah, I'm my best. I got a diesel truck outside just driving because there's always construction in my neighborhood because people build on open lots, and
I can't hear it, so I think you're good.
Yeah. Oh well. Just complain out loud about it. But I don't know, man. I feel like what we do sometimes matters. I know for the most part,
I know,
it's gambling and bullshit, but I'm glad there's people out there that like put some merit to our name and there's weight to what we do and what we've done.
It's weird because it feels like I didn't really expect to really make a difference in people's like lives at all, but like we have on a few occasions, which is kind of crazy. Like I like doing this, like, yeah, I didn't think we'd ever, but like, I mean, we got the ball rolling for Jordan Blake. Who else have we had significant, like, I helped out a band get on So What kind of using the weight of our social media to
Bug somebody.
well, I mean, more than bug, but like kind of call someone out for, I think, treating them with, I don't want to get too into it, but, and I mean, it might even cost me a job in doing so, but like, I don't really regret it, because
I mean,
that's a huge deal to get, like, to get on to So What, and so like, I'm totally fine if that's, I mean, I don't even, there's a good chance they don't remember or care, but I mean, who knows?
unless you're like
Maybe I'm
a
just not qualified, but
if people remembered who you were specifically, sometimes you can get lucky and people be like, oh yeah, I know who you are. But most of the time you're
Mhm.
just you're just like a username to like a lot of people. But like unless you build a rapport, because I mean that's kind of what we do here. We're professional buggers. We bug people.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of our interviews are just off that. Like, hey, like, you want to come on the show? No, I'll ask you again in a week. I'll ask you again in 2 weeks. I'll ask you
Yeah, people give Ryan shit for doing that, and it's like, one, it's kind of hilarious in and of itself the way it's kind of gone. Like, it's a joke, but it all actually works. Like, it's not all the time, not even the majority of the time, but it does every now and then. It does. You do get some stuff coming from it,
you got to shoot your shot, and it's just
and
like,
like, not even, and it's not even all just like interviews. Like, every now and then someone will just send us, I don't know, like they'll send us like their new single or something that like no one's gonna hear for a month because we've been bugging them about going on or something. Like,
oh,
it's shit's weird.
I
But
mean,
yeah, no, we bugging people kind of works a little bit.
I will say, because like that's how we got the fall Troy. We got Thomas Eric. That was probably, I don't know, if I remember back in 2020, that was like one of the first big guests that said, yeah, sure, I'll come on the show. You know what I mean? I'll be right
Hmm.
there. That was like one of the
Yeah, I
first
know.
people
I'm like,
like, yeah. But that didn't happen till like 2 years after the fact that we asked. Like it took till like this year, right? Am I wrong? Was Thomas Eric
yeah,
not
these
like,
people are all very busy,
yeah,
especially Thomas Iraq, who's in like every band,
hmm in the whole wide world? We're
pretty
just messing.
much.
We're
A lot
dancing
of
with
these
Shaq.
artists are in every band.
Yeah, we're voguing in here, dude. Just
We really are. It's, I don't know.
strike a
We
pose.
should just not, we should not do episodes at 6, or I guess 4:30, 6. This is the wrong time to do it. I guess I could close the blinds, but then I have to turn the lights on, and we got a whole other problem. I mean, I don't know. Fuck it. Should I adjust?
This is the best 100th episode celebration. I can figure no other way for an insane, random as fuck, like happenstance podcast to like celebrate
Oh
its
yeah,
100th.
this one was totally, we were just like, we should probably do something for the 100th episode. And like, we didn't even think about it that much. Like, I mean, last time for the 50th episode, we were like, I was like, all right, we're gonna get bands to come on for like 10 minutes, or like fans and stuff to call in. And that like did not materialize at all, which is like, it's totally fine. It worked out fine. But like, this one is just like, yeah, we're going off the cuff for sure. All right.
Huh.
I think
I
I'm
think
gonna
one
go shut these blinds real quick, but you can keep talking if you want.
I was gonna say, like, I think one thing we've tried to do different, because I feel like season two was more about like oriented on MySpace bands, and it's like cool. I like that we really like, I don't know. I feel like we got a lot of like MySpace royalty at that time. And then with season three, we tried to like branch out more and do like panel episodes, have multiple guests on at the same time. And it's like, I feel like we've gotten some really interesting, like creative moments out of that. A lot of, you know, guiding, like doing a podcast, you learn like the one thing that you gotta like be really good at. And like a lot of bands we get on here, like sometimes they have to learn it like as you go, but there's definitely an art to like taking turns like listening and speaking, because then you never want to have people like like Fred Flintstone like feet like scatter pattern like over each other's like speaking. You don't want to like, what are we using, that scatter pattern, yeah, there we go.
Battle pattern?
Like that thing the Flintstones do when they start running, or like even Scooby, like that
Or I
one note.
changed scenery, but I
Hey,
understand what you're saying.
like
I also kind of think that it's okay to embrace having poor audio quality.
yeah. I mean, we're the demo team podcast.
Oh yeah.
We're literally held together by like scotch tape and best hopes and dreams, you know?
You
Like
really
I
are.
and
Like,
I don't know how we've gotten as lucky as we have. I mean, being associated with Ghost Killer is pretty cool. Like
yeah.
I mean, just having that as like a cool seal of approval. I mean, all the bands that have gone through there and done stuff and dropped stuff and like released stuff through Ghost Killer. Like I Set My Friends on Fire did a song with Little Lotus through Ghost Killer Entertainment. Like that's pretty cool. Like that's a cool association by like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, even though Kevin Bacon's not involved in this
No, it's
scenario.
6 Degrees of Kurt Travis, remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good episode. I feel like that was one of our first like
Well, I Set
big.
My Friends on Fire.
No, that one was great too because the best thing about like that I was talking about Kurt Travis, but I mean while I'm on the subject of I Set My Friends on Fire, I feel like that was one of those instances where we were like ahead of the curve, like on the pulse of something about to like because it
That
happened like
was very, yeah, we just basically like caught, that was a really weird one. And that was our comeback episode when we came back,
mhm.
um, our second evolution.
like the Super Saiyan MySpace season came back with like full throttle because we had I Set My Friends on Fire from first to last, and it was just like it was like oh like I was feeling OP there for a second, dude. We
Oh
were hitting
yeah.
ones there
We
for a
came
second.
out hot basically after we took off what, six, maybe longer. When did we like go off air for a little? Because I mean, we
We
took
went
that.
off in August because that's when my shit happened with because I mean our shit kind of happened the same time as my shit with my other band happened, and that was in August. We kind of all kind of took.
Um, that was, yeah, that sounds about right. Um, so let me think. I mean, basically, we hit 50, and then I think our lives kind of hit some weird patches. I wouldn't, I mean, mine wasn't really weird. I mean, like, there's some kind of shitty stuff that happened around that time for me. Um, Also, we were supposed to get Tillian to interview, and we were kind of like really hyping that up, and then he no showed, and I think probably for the best, to be honest, that we don't have that in our catalog. I mean, who knows? Like, it's one of those things where, I mean, obviously it would have had like lots of listens, but
Yeah, it just
I think it
happens.
might not be totally, it wouldn't have been terribly tasteful these days. Some of the things, looking back on it, some of the discussions we had or whatever, but also I think that was kind of what was keeping us afloat for a long time. Or
Yeah,
not, I mean, that was kind of like that was kind of not keeping us afloat per se, but it was like that was like if we would have made that episode, we keep going with the original lineup of demo team for probably some time, quite some time longer, just because, you know what I mean, like
I
we
think
would
it
have
like
caught a lot of momentum from it.
yeah, I think the hype kind of definitely like got a lot of its the wind taken out of its sails, especially with everybody having other stuff that they needed to focus on and kind of like be more attentive to just because like it wasn't, you know, I wouldn't say like that time was caused by bad blood. I would say like definitely there was like some miscommunication, and there was definitely like times where like situations got really heated. And
Yeah, I mean, we
I
don't need to go into we don't need to go into it, I guess. But I mean, I was just generally talking about like just we that was things very much could have been very different. I think for this podcast had um
did take a lot of the wind out of the sails, I think, because
basically is more of what I'm kind of getting at. It's like we like
with all the
there's
drama going on, and then to get kind of like that was like a kind of kick in the shin on top of it. It was just like, you know what, I don't think we need to focus on this as much, but I feel like
yeah.
while we didn't focus on the episodes, I still kept the page afloat because I mean, we kind of had like something there. I wanted to take a break from like social media, but I don't know. My real life kind of sucked at the time. So I kind of found solace, I still do, but I found solace in entertaining our audience and just giving them something to do because it gave me something to do. Because I was not happy. I mean, working at Amazon. I'm like, I'm just like,
Oh
hell.
yeah, he's a big programmer. I'm just
Oh no, I was a big box mover and I put things in cubbies and I pressed buttons. Yeah, that job sucked. It was just lifting up 40-pound boxes all day. But you know, I'm glad I had the demo team. Like I'm glad that like we still have this podcast like in its verbal form, and I'm glad that the page has enough to keep like, a niche audience entertained to keep coming back and to investigate and see what we do or just listen to what random inane insane babbling bullshit that we just babble out of our. I
I
mean,
mean, it's not
sometimes.
like we're babbling that much anymore. We're pretty much just straight interviews, which is cool. So,
I mean, our
I mean,
first
of course,
episode.
this is pretty babbling right now. We're kind of getting all the babbling out, like
I mean, that's
we're
the only way we're.
outside of other people's, while not taking up band's times. That's kind of, you know what I mean?
I feel like with these episodes, I mean, it was kind of just like the old when we talk about like, Dance Gavin Dance songs or just tracks that we listened to like long ago. I've always felt like, it's like an outlet. It's the talk and like people enjoy conversation. I mean, I've enjoyed talking to you. I've enjoyed talking to Cash, my co-host here. I've enjoyed talking to our other co-hosts like
Yeah, I've
David and
enjoyed talking to my co-host as well.
yeah. I've enjoyed talking to myself too. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, this is all just an illusion by Ryan. In case you didn't
Oh
know,
yeah.
he's invented this whole thing. In fact, Dance Gavin Dance was never a band.
Never.
Ryan just
We were
invented
just
it in his mind.
it was love hate hero in disguise. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Charlie
But
XCX in disguise.
I'm just glad, like, we have like a good catalog of conversations for people to enjoy and hear. Like, it's cool that people have that. And I'm glad to have it out there. I'm very proud of it. I feel like that's a lot of hundreds of hours of work there. Like, it's good. I'm good. I feel good about it that it's out there and then people can hear it. I'm proud that, we've used a lot of our time not only to like talk about what we like, but kind of give people a platform for stuff that they like to get some like eyes and ears on it. Cause I mean, sometimes we just like with that Jordan Blake thing, like he said he'd never done a podcast before. And like we had Jeremy Talley of the Bled here, and that was super cool because it was like the Bled had just done like their comeback tour, and it was just nice to hear some of like the road stories and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm always happy that we have like cool stuff like that. Like having Andrew Wells on here was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely was. Very big and beefy. Drinking Baja Blast, talking about philosophy.
Talking about
Cool,
Travolta.
dude. What?
Talking about
Oh,
Travoltas.
Travolta, yeah,
But
absolutely. But I mean, I guess we might. I guess what I was gonna say is, um, like I don't even know what I'd be fucking doing without this shit. To be honest, it'd be a pretty dull ass life. I'd be bleeding if I didn't have this at least going on. And it kind of gives you a little bit of hope too. Maybe someday something really good will come from all our hard work doing this. Like real, you know what I mean? But even if it doesn't, at least
at least we have what we made.
exactly. And I feel like I've accomplished a lot. And this is like if this ended like if we quit doing this podcast like today, tomorrow, whatever, like I feel like I'd accomplished something. So that's
I agree on that sentiment.
plus
I feel
that's
like
cool as fuck. We're
if
fucking basically
if
music journalists for the last two
it,
and a half years.
yeah. I mean, at the very least, it's given me the initiative, ambition, and drive to want to do something more with what we've attained. Like I always feel like we could be doing something bigger and better, and just like the want and desire to want that is nice and refreshing. Because I mean, I've had moments in life where I don't have all that, I feel like, damn, what am I
Absolutely.
grinding, and like what am I working up towards, like, is this it, like, is this all I'm like gonna get out of this, is like a paycheck and
Yeah,
some
it's
video
rough
game
out
here,
here.
and with this it's like you look around and you see what people like, and you know you can't always just coast. Like with us starting off as like a Dance Gavin Dance podcast, it's like you realize, like, yeah, I enjoy giving this content to these people, and I like, it's not like I don't anymore, but I'm saying the want to like fulfill that for more people, and to like just not just for yourself, but to like give more audiences something to like laugh at or learn from, or just get more stories, because it's all about storytelling. I mean, a lot of the coolest things on the show has been like, were some really neat stories that we've all shared.
Yeah, I need stories right now, Ryan.
um I mean, we were talking about it a little bit uh before we recorded, but like I experienced like my first blackout in Mexico. That was pretty cool. Staying on like a beach
He was
shoreline.
Drake so much.
I did. My hotline wasn't blinging. I'm not Anthony Fantano, and I'm not getting fucking like Drake sliding in my DMs. I'm pretty upset about it. Like, sorry, I got a little choked up there. I was just like, I'm feeling like a light one, my existence right now. Whole light one.
No, you were a dark one because you didn't have any lights on.
Yeah, it was definitely dark. And I don't know. I kind of grew like I've had blackouts like in the States and stuff, but it's like there's 7-Eleven down the street, like what's the big deal? Like,
Yeah,
all right.
it's a little unnerving
It's a little different
in
when
another
you're in a
country.
different
Yeah.
you're on just like a beach shoreline. And yeah, I mean, it could be definitely stressful a little bit, because you don't want to run out of candles. You don't want to see all your food you bought go to waste. Definitely,
That's why you
no,
gotta eat it all. Ryan ate all his food in his refrigerator
I,
yesterday. He
I
ate the
ate a
whole
lot.
thing. Hate the
I ate
whole refrigerator. And it was
it was,
warm too because the electricity was out.
yeah, that's true, but it
You
was
got
good
your
yolk.
refrigerator's cold.
It was running, that's for sure, and then it wasn't, so I
Is
had
your
to put it
refrigerator running?
right now. I hope.
You
I hope
better go catch it.
my fan's on, so I know the electricity's running. So like I feel at peace. Like I'm not in danger of anything like falling apart.
You know,
But I did get to play the guitar a lot yesterday. I was playing around with it, and it's cool. I had fun
oh,
because it was like,
a train.
what? You hear a train?
Someone, I don't know. That's probably like a construction truck or something. But no, like exactly one of those bills. But you're playing guitar yesterday. That's cool. That kind
Oh
of
yeah.
reminds me. Obviously, Mexico is a little different, but my friend, he was like in Peru in the '80s or whatever,
Hmm.
and like when all the revolutionaries were out, and they would just like knock out the power in like their towns or whatever, just to like show that like don't fuck with us or whatever. But in Mexico, it's a little different. I don't think that would happen in Mexico, just because I don't know. I don't think it's on the verge of revolution like Peru was. I guess.
I'm a P's and Q's and be very polite to everybody. That's my way of
Exactly. Yeah.
through life. That's the best way to live in Mexico.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's the best way to live pretty much anywhere.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's one thing that has helped us as a podcast, is just kind of like roll with the punches and not feed too much into like the negativity and being rude, and just being spiteful and
Yeah.
uncaring, kind. Like I
I
think we've
think,
gotten
yeah.
more out of just being like, silly little dumb boys that just are like, this is for fun. Like we're not here to like be
We caught more
snob.
flies with honey for sure.
Oh yeah, we don't want to. We've never wanted to be gatekeepers. We never wanted to be snobs. We never wanted to, like, if we call people
At least
out,
us two didn't want to be.
joke. It's a joke, not like an attack or someone's like existence. I think it's all good fun. The memes have never been fully spiteful, and
Not
unless
yet,
you
at least.
Finn McKenzie, man. Stop talking about the Fall of Troy like that. They're good. They hold up.
They do. I fucking love the Fall of Troy.
Yeah,
Listen to
they're
them all the
awesome.
time.
I think they hold up. I mean, they still
I mean,
release.
you know who I don't listen to all the time? Finn McKenzie.
I listen to. Yeah, I love Finn McKenzie.
I don't listen to. I stopped listening to him after. I mean, like there are a few
He
things
just
that
had.
kind of like tick me off, but
He just had Electric Callboy on there on an
oh
episode.
really?
That's pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
like Electric Callboy.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a cool game. It's a lot better and a lot less negative. You know.
I feel like Electric Callboy would be better if they were like from Japan, though.
I mean, aren't they from Russia?
Are they from Russia?
I'm pretty sure, like Russia or
But they sing in
Germany.
English. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think it's because they sing in English is why I think I
I
think
mean
it
they're
takes
all.
a little bit of
I mean, they collaborated with We Butter the Bread with Butter, and they're from like Germany. So it's like they're definitely a European band. I'm not like I'm not the patron saint of knowledge here. I have spoken out of my
yeah,
ass.
me either. I mean, I
So
do like them, but like I don't know. Some
yeah.
they kind of they sound like J Rock, but like without Japanese lyrics. I guess is kind of what I'm kind of getting.
Oh yeah. I think I've learned
That's cool.
from I one thing I've learned from this podcast is to learn to be okay with being corrected sometimes.
Yeah.
I get my facts wrong or you misspoke,
Oh yeah.
It doesn't
I'm
help anybody.
just good thing I edit this, so you don't have to be too wrong. But sometimes we're wrong. I mean, I don't know.
I I love being wrong. I love being wrong. Being wrong is so good. But I mean, it's always good to come like if you're
And I
around
don't want to be right.
ignorance, always to come. I hate being right. I wish I was wrong more often. I want to know that feeling. I'm the most humble person you'll ever meet. Just so you know, I'm so humble.
Absolutely right.
There ain't
Ryan has
nobody
no
humble like
ego
you.
whatsoever.
Never. I have never had no ego. I mean, I am a firm believer. Like I'm very proud of what we've accomplished, and I feel like there's some sense and semblance of importance to it. But I'm always a firm believer of the mantra: I ain't shit. I'm just a dude. Like I'm just a guy.
I
And at the end of the
guess
day, that's all I am.
no, I feel that for sure. It's kind of like I see it like in two different. Well, it kind of works because it's like I think you got to bet on yourself. Basically, that's kind of what this is. That's we keep
Well, you
doing
need
it
a little
because we're betting on ourselves, but it's also because we ain't shit. And
yeah.
so you kind of and so like because if you were shit, yeah, it's easy to bet on yourself when you're the shit. It's hard to do it when you ain't shit. And like
I've learned
trust us, we
if I was the shit, I'd have more money. So when the day
exactly.
comes, rolls into my feelings of euphoria, like then I'm the shit. But right now, I'm just a dude, just like everybody else, that's just trying to find a piece of existence out there that brings them some like sense of composure and calmness because I like silly niche genre music and
Exactly. We
making the
yeah, if we were the shit, we'd have money and girlfriends and I don't know, probably other stuff too. I wouldn't have
yeah
to like fix my car every other week.
the demo pathetic podcast. That's what we are now.
We are oh yeah. If you ever wonder why we haven't dropped an episode in like a month every now because that happens, quite often. It's probably some shit hit the fan in our lives. Basically, we're always on the uh we're always like about to explode basically in our
Oh yeah.
personal lives.
Demo like has many meanings. Not only does it like illustrate the quality of our like podcast, it's also like the fragility of
Demolition.
our lives can be demolitioned in a second. And like
Absolutely.
we're also big fans of the movie Demolition Man, and we're just trying to
I
figure
haven't
out how to
seen
use
it.
them. You haven't seen it. You haven't seen
No, but
Demolition.
I have listened to that song by Sting. Um, it's just like that one band from England in the 90s. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And no one's ever gonna keep me down. What?
Tub Thumping by
Kind of
Chumbawamba.
yes. Tough Chumbawamba.
I'm aware of cheesy, like esoteric 90s one hit wonders. Pretty sure that was 90s. It had to be
Yeah, it
90s
was
because I feel
90s.
like
Oh,
Spice
for
Girls
sure.
were vibing around that time. And Spice
I
Girls are
get
definitely
knocked down. Let's sing it right now. Let's just go through the whole song. Ready?
no. We get flagged.
No, you get Flight Deflated.
Play it. What do you mean?
It starts out like it goes.
They can pick up our
I
vocal.
thought the music mattered, but does it bollocks? We'll be singing.
You can sing that alone, Cash. I'm not thump thumping with you.
I get
don't.
knocked down, but I get up again. But never gonna bring me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. But anyways, that's kind of how this all works.
Pretty much.
We get knocked down. We probably disappear. Well, not really. Ryan is internet master. Get knocked down. We get back up again, and then we try to do some. Well, we try to do some shit, and then shit hits the fan again because we're kind of. I feel like we're probably a little bit financially irresponsible in our lives. Maybe be doing. I mean, we probably. Yeah, I'd say we're probably both fairly financially irresponsible. We probably could do some things a little better and more effectively.
Like what?
But, well, I don't know. At least for me, I'm like
rich. I ain't rich. I ain't gonna say that, but I wouldn't say irresponsible. I live well within my means. I mean, I try to.
okay.
I don't.
I guess
I have nasty habits that I can't kick or anything, but I mean, my rent's paid, my bills are paid, and I keep a roof over my head. But I mean, I'm not rich. I mean, what I do doesn't really like qualify me to be a rich person or upper middle class even. I would say I'm well within the, like, with everybody else that's involved with music. I mean, music's not a profitable business.
no, not really. I
You
mean,
want
I guess I'm very much like a YOLO person and like push your problems to the future and then go for shit. I mean, I'm very much like bet on yourself. Like I mean that in like a lot of ways. And then it bites me in the ass. But that's all right because then I get to talk to Ryan every few days on a podcast sometimes maybe once a month, depending on how we're feeling.
I mean, I think one thing that causes like ratchets and like wrenches in the gears of like moving time sometimes is just banking on those one guests, like those Thomas Erics or those.
Yeah, I don't really do that anymore. It's just kind of like
we got two in the chamber. We got two in the chamber that we both have been sitting on. I want to say the better part of the year.
What?
Just the two guests that we got. I mean, I think we've hinted at it. I don't know if we've ever said anything, but I mean, we have.
No, I forgot. But it's all right. I'll probably think about it. I'll probably remember in a second.
I mean, think of the only guests. I mean, ones that have taken some time. We've hinted on. I mean, I make content on them sometimes, but I mean, they kind of fit with that season 2 mold of MySpace bands. I mean,
all right.
They were on.
Oh
MTV.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They were on MTV. They were there. But
they were there on MTV.
I mean, we just had Brandon Ewing on. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. He's cool.
Somebody literally like hit us up in our DMs and was like, "Hey, can you ask Brandon to come on your show? We need this episode." So I definitely used that screenshot. I forget who it was, and they were very kind. And I apologize if I forgot your name, but I mean that was months ago. What do you expect? But
yeah, what do you expect from us? Honestly,
at this point, 100 episodes in, 101. I mean, we're trying. We got a cool episode.
We're not doing bad, honestly. And it's crazy. We've done this a quarter of a decade, basically.
I mean, we just sat here and spilled our guts for like almost an hour talking about our deepest, darkest secrets. And now you wanna just talk about like the next guest that's coming on. I mean, it's probably gonna be Sleep City. I'm pretty sure that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But then we gotta get it. Then I'm gonna start scheduling some Bandusi bands.
Bandussies.
Bandussies, yeah. Probably Thursday and Friday. Get a couple along.
Just interact with our social media, man. That's like one of the like most concrete ways to get on the show. And like
I know. I mean, I'm gonna message them and be like, yo, it's time.
we're
Time is
super
now.
we're super shitty at juggling time. Like I want everyone that
I
is bare
know.
for longer. Like some bands that are coming on here in the future that I've helped schedule, they've been waiting a minute, and I feel like sometimes there are bands out there that have waited far too long. I feel
Far
like
too long.
far too long, and I
Far
hope
too long.
nobody ever feels like jaded or jilted or unwanted because
No,
we
they're probably just appreciative that they got some extra time to work on their shit that really matters instead of going on.
get more to talk to. Come on the show. We have all these cool stories, and we want to talk to everybody. We're working
I
on
want to
ourselves.
talk to everyone.
Yeah,
I would love to talk to everyone in the world.
I would.
Just one.
I just need more time.
I know. Time. I want more time too. I want to be able to, go to work, edit podcasts, make episode, write some music, finish Better Call Saul. I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe do some fun stuff, but
yeah.
it seems like you got to pick like maybe 2 or 3 a day to do.
I went to the dance club recently. They were playing disco, dude, and I haven't heard like good disco like ever. I didn't realize there was like a disco crowd
You
that
haven't
was.
heard good disco ever. All disco is good. It's all great.
I meant like disco itself comes from like the 70s, and I know this is a genre we don't cover very often, but I mean,
We
this
should
obviously
cover it more.
this sounded very modern and like
Oh, were they playing like what's that?
some cool. It sounded almost like how it's probably just like disco house music, but at the same time, I'm just
Oh,
like
okay.
there was some good shit. I enjoyed what they were playing, and I recommend anybody if you're ever in Mexico, go check out the disco scene, bro. Like they're out there. No, there's a cool ass dance scene out here though. I've gone to like plenty of parties and stuff, and there's always a DJ there, and everybody is like, it's a good DJ culture out here, I think.
All right. I can
I'm
dig
gonna
it.
I'm gonna have to
Maybe
get more
someday I'll come visit you when you invite me, but
ever.
never. I'm just playing. Well, not really playing, but
No, shit, dude, I didn't know you wanted to hang out. What? I thought I was supposed to come to Texas. That's how I've
well,
always.
I mean, if you're living at the beach in Mexico,
Who would want to come here?
exactly. Who would want to go to the beach in Mexico? Who wants that in their life?
I didn't realize you wanted to hang out with me. I'm all shy now. I'm bashful. My cheeks are turning red. I'm
It's
just.
okay. We'll hang out when our
I was waiting. Hey,
When Wayne Stock finally happens for us, right?
I was gonna go to Texas. That's how I always envisioned it. That I was gonna go to
Well,
Texas.
what if
I
I
didn't.
wanted to go to California sometime? In fact, there was
Oh,
a time when I was considering, oh yeah, I was to go to Swan Fest this year. I was like, I want to drive to California. And then I
yeah,
don't know, some
like
shit happened that
I would have
prevented.
made more of an effort to go to Swan Fest if you went to Swan Fest. I know that.
Well, when you said you weren't going, I was like, I guess it's like, what's the point of me going?
Would have been
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I was
But I
considering
never feel
driving,
like
but then I was like, and then it got like to be like a couple weeks. I was like, I guess I'll probably just fly. And then I was like, you know what? Ryan's not going. I don't have that much money. And then also, I think the whole rest in peace Tim happening kind of it not necessarily. I think it was kind of one of those things where I didn't want to. Well, I mean, we're gonna do the demo team stuff, which I think might have been out of place to do that there with that happening. Plus, it's just kind of a very heavy
yeah.
event.
I feel like there was a lot of moments this year with this podcast and just like the social media presence involved with it that gave us a lot of moments of perspective to like reanalyze and reevaluate how we want to approach not only like the content but how we interact with fans. Because I mean, I feel like there definitely were like a lot of heated exchanges this year that, you know, comes with the time and duration of just being involved in the scene. And I'm glad that we've maintained like a positive, upbeat, and calmer demeanor. I'm not so, I try not to be so wild anymore. But I also like, I feel like you have to be really angry in life to have some of that like virile spit and venom that I had. Like, I was in a very unhappy position in life. I have no like problem admitting that I was just in a bad
Well, no, I
emotion.
mean, yeah, obviously I wouldn't want you to be doing that very often.
Yeah.
Um, and like I don't condone that behavior at all. I mean, like, but I mean, we're not gonna like, um, but there was like a whole other side of it too, like that you knew about, you kind
Yeah.
and like that not everyone else knew, and so I think I kind of I get where you were coming from, even though I was like, yeah, I don't. This is not maybe not the route to take, but it's all
Yeah.
good.
You
It's
definitely
in the
got
past.
fine, and definitely what you say can be used against you. And it's one of them things, like, it sounds horrible if you don't even like, on all these vague terms, but it's basically, you know, you interact with a fan base, be careful about speaking about artists, musicians in that scene, because people are fans and fans are going to defend who they're fans of, and that's about it. That's like the long and short of it. And it's like you can have a working relationship with people, and that's about as far as you take that. It's like it's just business, it's just work. And if you try to get involved in their quarrels and fans being fans, you're going to just gonna be foolish for everybody, and everyone's gonna say super shit. And that's just what I feel like those happened like a couple times this year. And it wasn't just like with fans of any band in particular. I'm not trying to like, drop names because I feel like that shit's in the past. It's old, it's ancient, and there's no point in like bringing it up.
Yeah, and I
But
mean, like you've made
to
it with at
anybody,
least one of the people involved, so
yeah.
I think, right? Yeah.
I mean, and there's a whole other thing that got like shut down from people that were antagonizing me. I mean, there's been a couple accounts that just aren't online anymore just because they thought they could just harass and like harangue people like online and like think that they can make content like that. And I'm glad those people aren't online and harassing me anymore. I'm glad I'm not getting doxxed. I'm glad I'm not even have to do with that. I won't dignify them with a name or like a name drop or whatever.
Oh yeah. Wow, I really hate that
Yeah,
guy. So much
but
hatred
if
from
that's
this
like,
guy.
I
So
don't think
much hate.
there's no future in that, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad he's not in the scene anymore.
I'm glad I don't have that and I don't have to deal with somebody's freaking spouse. I'm glad that's
Oh
over.
yeah, that too. Wow, that's I feel like I mean whatever, I don't really want to
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it's our
just
100th celebration, and it's just like people. I mean, we're gonna talk on like episodes going slower. Maybe it's just because like sometimes we gotta like just reevaluate. Like, geez, people take this shit too seriously. There's a lot of
yeah,
like sourpuss energy out there that's just
I know.
spirited, and it's just like this fucking it's a show about niche.
Yeah, I just we need to chill like people in our specific, progressive post-hardcore scene can be a little dramatic.
Yeah, fandoms can be.
And I think they kind of seek out that dramatic too. And I mean, there's some like very heavy, crazy stuff that also happened this year too, which I mean, I don't want to like discount any of that, but I think that there's also like a whole, um, you know, we're all adults here. We don't need to treat this like a high school cafeteria. We can just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like that was probably my least favorite thing. Is just being involved with band drama this year was not fun.
Yeah.
It sucks, and it's just one of those things that we've had to endure. And I definitely feel like it definitely contributed to a little bit of a softer, like maybe let's recharge your batteries and trying to regroup and focus what's important and what like makes this show like continue on, because it's like I've always been like with our guests and everything, we've always said like we're not TMZ, we're not like a gossip column, we're not trying to like fling mud and shit. And
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's not like it's really necessary to do so. Like,
yeah,
we're all kind of just we're all just getting by. There's no,
yeah,
I mean, obviously there's like things that happen within our scene, but like, I don't really want to dwell on it ever.
no,
It's not worth it. I want to talk about the art.
I like music.
Me
I like what
too.
it comes with, and it's just like it's an
You know what
unfortunate
I
habit.
like? That's not music though.
What?
Matrix Resurrections.
I still haven't seen it, and I'm scared to buy HBO Max because they're gonna like turn it into just like Warner Brothers Discovery, and I'm just like that's so stupid.
Well, I heard that they're gonna merge with NBC Universal, and and then you just have the big two, Disney and Warner Discovery, NBC Universal.
Boy, oh boy, Peacock.
Peacock. Oh yeah, remember when we used to show for Peacock? Or at least I did.
You did?
Just, I mean, not really, but I was like, I kind of fuck with Peacock, but I kind of got over that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, Netflix is like kind of like a given. You kind of need Netflix because
you
they got
know,
all the.
I haven't. I mean, I only got Netflix back in the summer. For a long time. I only had Hulu and Disney Plus because they were bundled together, and I did fine. Like Hulu has been solid to me, and I like its selection. I like its format. And I mean, I think I probably prefer HBO Max, at least for right now, for the time being, over Hulu now. But for a long time, I was just Disney Plus and Hulu.
They got
It
good as
did
adult.
fine.
They got Adult Swim, so that's kind of hard to beat. And they got Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes.
I mean, I watched like during I guess during the summer when we kind of went offline for a little bit, while I was going through my struggles. I watched all of like Justice League, like Unlimited or whatever, and like Superman on HBO Max, and that shit fucking rocks. And so,
Yeah, I agree with you. That shit's
yeah,
fire, dude. But I think this show, for the most part, has been fire. I have enjoyed like,
absolutely. I mean, I
and
wouldn't know for sure because I don't. Well, actually, I would know for sure because I edit the episodes, but I don't usually listen to them afterwards. I kind of, you know what I
you
mean?
know, I like I've revisited episodes just to like, you know,
Yeah,
have like a part two or just like really good guests. Like I just get giddy, like thinking about it.
when we were in the pocket in the zone,
Oh yeah.
talking about loss and shit, right?
It's random nonsense that comes to our head at the top of our noggin. Oh
Man,
man.
that was the best. That's when
Hey,
we're at our best, except for today, I think.
today, dude. This is the best episode. I mean, if you think about it, we could always handle it like we handled that fucking what's that Rivers Como? Just edit
I
out of
just
this.
edit someone else like we're talking to them.
You could just edit the shit out of this and just make it like an episode of Lost or like a Quentin Tarantino movie and put the end at the
Oh,
beginning
we're
and the
doing the clip show.
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. And I think that's one thing that we've always carried with us throughout this entire
Well,
show. Neither
there are
one of
times when we kind of want to do big things, and then a lot of times they kind of, fall apart. because
we are masters of being overly ambitious, and I
we
think
really
like
are, especially me.
we try our best. I think we keep our expectations tapered to a certain degree because I mean, when we started out, I remember getting my hopes up a lot, you know,
Yeah. I was like,
because you
oh shit, we're gonna do a whole episode on Afterburner right when right after it dropped, and we're like, this is it, we're in, boys. And then it was like, nope, that's this isn't it quite yet.
I mean, it's a learning process. It always is, and I mean, it's fun to
Yeah.
just. I think this show going from like a album analysis and recent listen show to a musical artist interview slash bullshittery
Yeah,
department.
exactly.
The natural
It's a good
progression.
transition. I mean, I guess there was like thoughts. I was like, all right, well, I had some plans for going back to album analysis for this show with someone else, and we're gonna kind of maybe try to launch his podcast from it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then well, I guess you could thank Tillian for that one too, because I was like, I don't think it would be very appropriate to be, going back to that stuff, and especially since we'd be talking about Johnny stuff too. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I plus and then I don't know. It's very weird.
It's
I mean,
awkward.
like
It's awkward
it's a
judging.
very awkward topic for. I mean, obviously it's just terrible, but like I don't think we quite figured out how distanced or we want to be. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird.
I think that comes with the territory of being very familiar with our audience and just like being a part of the community. You know, they get people out there that can kind of just do that unbiased journalism thing, and we've made the fatal error of being cool with our audience.
Absolutely, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, I like how we've kind of gotten into the whole like we've kind of focused more on like the progressive post-hardcore scene as opposed to just dance gavin dance, because I think that that's a really cool area with really awesome people.
A lot of people
I mean, it's
are,
really cool making all
yeah.
the friends that I've had that just going through to all these shows and stuff like that.
Oh,
um
hell,
the relationships we built, and I think that's kind of, I think I said like right when all that stuff happened, like I think that's kind of where the stories are that I want to explore. And I
yeah.
mean as well as just just hardcore music as well.
If it has core in it, I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
Put that
If
on
it
a
has
t.
corn in it or
It
core.
has core.
Corn.
Core in.
Yeah, we're gonna interview Corn. Anyways, that's the plan. That's our new high
Core.
watermark, is we're gonna interview Corn.
That's her new lifelong goal.
Exactly. Welcome to the demo Corn,
Demo corn concast.
the Cormo corn
Corn, corn, corn,
corn.
corn, corn. With
The
all of the
corn.
like
What
that
was I gonna say?
in John Malkovich, like being John Malkovich or John
Malkovich,
Malkovich.
Malkovich, Malkovich,
Yeah,
Malkovich.
goes inside his own Malkovich head and becomes in a Malkovich world, but with corn.
Malkovich. What was I gonna
Oh,
say?
yeah.
I mean, back to like we did have a lot of stuff planned. We were being very ambitious when we started season 2, like I guess beginning of this year, and nearly none of it I think came through to be. But I think it's cool just to like try to attempt things. So we're gonna keep doing that.
Oh,
And
I saw a lot of my overly ambitious, eager to achieve things come through. I mean, like I busted my ass trying to get those from first to last and the Fall of Troy and the Bled interview. Those took a couple years to get, and to
Yeah.
see like that felt like a good like completed journey for me, because it was like it was building a rapport and just being polite and kind and just being like, hey, down. And it's not like they were like, no, go away. Why are you bothering me? Stop. It was like at all. It wasn't like that at all. And it was cool to build like a friendly relationship with them. And when they came on the show, it was just like a gas, man. We were like old pals. Like, hey, remember when I bugged you for like 2 years straight? Like, oh,
Yes,
man,
Ryan, I remember.
it's there.
Hey, I just got a news update. Gene Simmons says, I don't have friends.
Gene Simmons says he doesn't have friends.
Kiss.
Everybody believes him.
That's why I'm fortunate to have Ryan, because he's a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
At least I'm not like Gene Simmons, right?
I mean,
Most days.
he threw like his whole band under the bus. These ain't my friends.
Really? Not a what's the fuck? What's his name? Who's the star man? It's not Ace. I don't know. Whatever. This is why we don't cover Kiss.
Yeah. I was made for love.
Loving you, baby.
We're gonna
made for loving me. That's disco right there. Speaking of disco Kiss. I think they took off their makeup by that point.
Oh man.
What was I gonna say?
That only came up because, of course, from first to last episode, that was like Derek's like best story was him talking about Kiss.
Playing with Kiss, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't really listen to him, but I mean, I guess it's cool."
I don't know why anybody would.
Actually, no, I like Kiss a lot. Actually, I'll be honest. I think that they kind of did some very unique stuff with their chord progressions and things like that. Plus, obviously, the whole like makeup thing I think is kind of hilariously awesome, like from a marketing standpoint. And I talked with Pete from what's that band on? Fuck, he won the Dance Gavin Dance cover contest. We were talking about Kiss one night on Twitter.
I think wasn't a female that won that contest.
No, not ours. Here's to now. Yeah. We should hit him up and get an interview. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so we were very ambitious, and a lot of it didn't really come through. I was like, oh, we're gonna turn this whole podcast into a big old media company. We're gonna become the hardcore Vox News or some shit like that. And I guess we could still probably I mean, I guess there's still some things I want to try for sure to get done. And I mean,
that's what I'm telling you. I'd love to write some articles.
Oh yeah, I was I'm a little short on money, but yeah, I should probably maybe like write an article about like Dropout Kings concert or something, just to make it even. I should just write about the concerts I go to just so they become slightly more profitable, or they, not that they're a waste of money, but like, at least you make your money go even further, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
but
they're like a marketing campaign that like just keeps on thriving, dude. Like most bands maintain like momentum, they just keep picking it up. So good for them.
Pick it up.
They're not even ska and they're picking it up.
Wow, ska new metal.
Ska metal.
Dude, we should become a ska new metal band.
Pick it up. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna become a ska new metal band.
The Demo Ska podcast.
But I mean, there's one thing I always want to do from this, and I've at least laid down the tracks to the tracks to the tracks to the tracks for it. We've at least started conversations with some people. Demo Fest is at
Demo.
least being talked about as a far off potential thing. So
I think
we'll see if that ever happens.
at the very least, we could have our own sponsored stage. As someone else.
I guess if we really wanted to pay for that, I mean, actually, we got offered. I think someone offered to have us sponsor a stage, wasn't it? Kentucky Irate Fest or something,
Oh boy.
and then they decided to be
I think they
not very cool, right?
me.
They were like, we're not going to have any local bands on.
I can get somebody that was on that of the Fallen. They're one of my clients. I can get them on here and they could probably talk about that whole debacle.
Let's do it.
We could get like the full after effect of like what's happened since then.
We'll just start asking all the Bandusi bands.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on Demo Fest?
That's just like, what if someone says no? I would be so hurt. The fuck
Okay.
no. I'll be on your festival.
No, I don't want to be on your damn festival.
I was like, I'm already
They
here
talk
for
like that.
I already regret it.
Uh-huh. It'll be cool. Ryan will he'll MC the whole thing. You'll get to hear his stand-up routines between sets.
Talk shit about every band that plays. Like, here's this shitty band.
Here's the Angel Light Expression.
Oh, fuck. My own band.
Wait, that's my band.
Like that harsh, dark reality of band, dude, where you like you want to talk shit about yourself, like, oh, I'm the worst.
No, you should just be like, yo, I'm the best, even if you're terrible. We're the best fucking podcast.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
You have a little bit of ego to succeed in this world.
Exactly.
I'm glad the sun
up very clearly. That's true. Because who makes podcasts besides people with gigantic egos, right? Thinking their opinions are so important.
Just a bunch of morons that want to hear themselves talk. Like, I think that's why me and Cash are the only ones that remain, because we like to talk.
Exactly. Because we're so full of ourselves.
We're lacking some brain cells.
What?
We're lacking some brain cells at this point.
Oh yeah. This shit's definitely fried our brains for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think all the scheduling and stuff, it's just like it turns your brain into sand and it just passes through an hourglass that slowly drips into a infinite chasm of like run-on sentences and going
Run-on sentences.
It just turns you into
sorry, I can't think of things in the moment to say.
Pretty much. I feel like
I forget the names of bands and songs all the time.
Dude, it's a disease at this point. Like, if someone were to tell me to name like 5 like songs from a band I actually liked, I'd be scared shit. I don't think I'd be able to do it. Any band at this point. It hurts.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to be able to I would say the name, I'd say the album, who made the album, the year it came out. I can name the songs on the track list. Now it's like, that's the idea of me knowing that kind of information is just like ridiculous to me. You know what I mean?
Shit for like Godzilla movies when I was a kid.
For Godzilla movies, you could quote them for
like Godzilla's first movie came out in 1954, and Godzilla versus
that was 59.
What? Fuck you. That was when King Kong came out, and that was like the no. I think Godzilla
that's 69 with Jeff Bridges.
It had to be like 60 or 61 because it was like the first colored Godzilla movie.
Oh, it's 54.
Probably like Mothra by then. He was about to fight Gigan and shit.
Wait, which came out in 59 then?
59 would probably be Godzilla. Like, I think 58 Godzilla raids again. I think it's when he fights Anguirus. I think. I want to say my knowledge was given to me by this little Godzilla book, and it was like a magazine. It was like a strategy guide for like Godzilla like factoids, and they like gave me all.
When are you gonna make a Godzilla podcast?
That'd be cool.
You should make
I,
one. I'll be on it, and I'll just be like, "Can you tell me more about this subject?"
but then I would feel like I'm in the plot of Godzilla versus King Kong, making
I haven't
podcasts.
seen that one yet.
What, you have HBO Max and you're all singing its praises, and you haven't watched Godzilla versus King Kong? Oh God,
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like there's something else I haven't watched on there that was very popular.
I'm
I can't
starting.
think of what.
I'm getting a low battery warning.
No, no, Ryan.
No. So are you gonna take like a hatchet knife to this episode and just like edit the fuck out?
Probably not.
Just let it
I
all go
think I'm
out.
probably just gonna leave most of it in and be like, well, I think someone will think something of this.
I mean, what better way of using a 100th episode celebration than to like kind of shake out all the rust from like the
Well,
last couple.
Russ, we interviewed like 3 bands last week.
Oh, and
We
here we
don't
are.
have Rust. We're if anything, we should be like prime right now.
You would think we would be well greased for like casual one-on-one conversation that is supposed to be entertaining, but I feel like we could be like Super Saiyan 3 and go even further beyond and
We can
be
get
like,
really good, get the banter really going.
yeah, I feel like we could always be better. And I think the day that we think we can't get better is probably a day that this podcast probably should stop.
You know what? I kind of disagree with that. I
What?
mean, I think we should always think we can get better, but like, I kind of think at a certain point, I think it's okay to just be like, yeah, you know what? We're we are what we are, and we're gonna
We
keep
are,
being
we
us.
are.
Exactly. Was that? Is that like some? That's one of those butt rock songs, right?
POD. You don't remember? We are,
Oh
we.
yeah, I remember POD. I mean, unfortunately, but I'm just kidding. Um,
Oh shit.
nah, yeah. Did I ever
I
tell you? I always think about this one thing. I don't know for something a story to talk about in the podcast, but I never talk about it. How I went to the Butt Rock Festival in Dallas, BFD, I think is what it's called. I don't know why it's Big Fucking Dicks Festival or something like that. Um, and we went one year because we went to see Evanescence and Chevelle, but we also had to watch like Hell Yeah and like all those kinds of bands too between. I don't know why. I always think about that. And I'm like, I feel like this would be something I could talk about on the episode. Because sometimes I think
what do
about
you,
things like that. I was like,
Cash, what do you think of the meteoric rising phoenix like reborn energy of Crossfade's Cold coming back into the viral mainstream?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Crossfade is, and you don't know what the hit number one butt rock alternative metal single Cold is?
No.
No, you don't. You don't know what Crossfade is. You don't know what Cold is.
No, I've probably heard it before. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Well, what I really meant to say is I'm sorry for the way I am. Oh
Okay.
God. You should go look up that
Don't be
song.
sorry. Be yourself. I think that's kind of more the point I was getting at when I was saying if we can't reach another level, we're just gonna be ourselves, is more what I was trying to say. Be
If
yourself.
maybe in 20 years we'll go viral for like some silly joke we made in like episode 73 or something. And we'll be
God,
like,
I hope not.
oh,
We're gonna go viral. It should be for something recent. I don't want to go viral for something I said
20 years.
10 years ago.
Well, get ready.
Yep, pretty much.
10 years, Cash. Let's see what happens. Maybe something, hey, maybe we'll be ignored. Maybe we'll be like an ancient fossil record that doesn't exist, or maybe we'll be on episode like 50,000. Who knows?
I don't think we're quite on that pace to be on episode 50,000. It took us 2.5 years to get to 100, but I think we picked up the pace in the last year for sure, though.
I mean,
So
record like multiple times in a week. So we
yeah,
that energy a little bit last week. I feel like there was like an OG energy move right there.
Well, I'm just like, yo, we gotta get this shit. I was like, well, I'm in a position where I can record a bunch of episodes. So I was like, let's fucking do it. That's why we
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
hit up the Bandusi people. It's time for the Bandusi files.
We gotta finally make sense of the Bandusi.
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 Pussy, man. It's pronounced.
Bandusi. I coined the word. I believe I get to decide the pronunciation.
I think I'm gonna have a cheeseburger for dinner because I am a fucking child.
That sounds delicious. Oh, go to the Burger Man.
Burger Man.
Did you ever go to the Burger Man? Mexico?
No, what's the Burger Man?
I told you about this before, but like every town in Mexico, they got like their town square. There's probably a guy making hamburguesas, the Mexican burgers. And they're really good. They're super greasy, but like they're just on a whole other level of deliciousness. And they have they usually put a slice of ham on it.
Uh-huh.
I think onions, but like they're not sliced, they're like chopped up, and then it's like mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard. It's a very simple burger, but it's really delicious. And yeah, Mexican Burger Man, that's the way to go. They probably got them in LA too, or like the IE.
I'm
I
kind
know
of
they
like
got them in Dallas and places.
I'm waiting for my next Facebook Meta paycheck from Facebook. Hell yeah, brother. I'm waiting for
Ryan
that.
lives in the metaverse.
Yeah, I get paid to be on Facebook, which is kind of like
He's a Metacan.
basically what consumes my life for the most part. It's like I've turned everything, I've sold out completely. I have no morals. I have no soul anymore. I'm just a corporate but
It's true. Ryan is literally eating out the palm of Mark Zuckerberg. The man,
he is not
wants
a robot at all. He is not a robot. He's a reptilian.
He's a robot reptilian.
He's a mecha bot. But my phone's about to die, Kev. So did you want to
All right.
wrap up?
I guess we'll see y'all in probably 2 years from now. We're talking maybe, I don't know. Should we come back for 150? I don't know. Any other important numbers?
100. You can't celebrate like the little ones anymore. You can only celebrate the hundreds.
So 500?
No, I would say like 200 and 300.
Okay. Wow. So I guess we'll see you in probably 2 years.
I'm sure you'll be talking like my knockoff. It'll be Brian Bronx or something.
Yeah, hopefully we're in a little bit better places by then.
I have a shitty nickname, Ryan Rex. What kind of idiot would think that? Oh, wait, never mind. I don't think I've ever. I can't even think of like a time that we've ever like actually used like our online monikers. I think like Cash the Toolman Taylor.
Well, we were supposed to wrestle each other, remember?
Oh,
that'll be the other thing at Demo Fest. We're gonna finally wrestle each other.
You're gonna break my neck.
Maybe. What do you think will come sooner, Demo Fest or episode 200?
Episode 200.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Demo Fest too. I'm just.
I think we'd have a better shot of getting a movie made like Wayne's World about Demo Fest.
Yeah, we could definitely. I feel like we could probably make a movie actually, like faster than we could organize a music festival.
We get the movie rights for the fictional event that we want to take place to get written and I think we can get aired in China before we get Demo Fest. But I mean, stranger shit has happened. I don't think like even when this thing started that we ever thought we'd actually be able to get any actual like real bands or like any bands at all.
Real bands. I mean, we got like Anamoria and a Marionette right out of the gate, and Seafloor Cinema like a few weeks later. They're real bands, right?
No,
come on.
is when we started, like that was just an idea. It wasn't like we're starting this podcast. We have guests bookmarked already. It's all ready to go. We're like cataloged for 6 months on bands. It's like everything we've done has been by like the tips of our fingers and like the roots of our efforts. We've had to work to
Absolutely.
get here, and
This is
nothing that
guerrilla warfare right here.
pretty much we got the guerrilla marketing technique, and we've been a bunch of
The
silly apes.
Gonzos.
Yeah, that's why I smoke weed while we do interviews. It's just like I gotta keep that going somehow. But my dogs are now begging me that they want to go outside, so
Well,
go
my
listen to
pals are now begging me. They want to go outside. So
go listen to the new Callous Cowboys, the new Devil Wears Prada. Check out Between the Echoes. They got a new song out right now. Still listening to that shit's fire. I like Sharp Tooth.
Oh yeah. Are we? No, we gotta
Aim
interview them
High.
soon.
Aim High. They were just on the show. They have a new single coming out at the end of the month. Flannel Season. Go check that out. That's really dope. You would.
Listen to this podcast, please. Please.
Listen to Cash's parts of the episodes. Mute mine, and then try to make sense of what I said based on what Cash said in response to me. But you have to mute my parts. So you
Oh,
will
just like River Squamo. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of proud of that kind of we actually
Work.
did that one. Yeah.
People actually got kind of like duped into it.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
that's
was
when
Jay Thubes, man. Fucking Jay Thubes.
I still believe in Jay Thubes. I love Jay Thubes. I'm glad he did that little
We're gonna
vocal.
next year too. We're gonna get him next year too.
Man, this puppy's paws are humongous. They're like a wolf hybrid, so they're like growing at an exponentially large rate. Aren't you?
Ancha.
Aren't you, little girl?
What do you think will happen sooner? Episode 200, Demo Fest, or we get girlfriends?
Oh man. Probably girlfriends, if anything. I think that's something that, anybody who listens to really sad, depressing emo like music looks for in life is a significant other to like be miserable with. So if anyone wants to, well, what up, ladies? What? Okay.
Did you know we're on a podcast for a very niche genre of music?
Yeah. You ever? I think I'm gonna have to like withhold that information until I'm comfortable with somebody.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it might have worked once, but
the ladies going.
It might have worked once.
I've been on a podcast.
Hey, I've been on 100 at least. Well,
behave, dogs. No. Ow. I'm getting bit at because I'm not letting dogs out. Ow.
By wolf hybrids, so it probably hurts a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Apex predators.
They're sweethearts though, but they're massive. Like, good. Well, the puppy's still a puppy, but for a puppy that's like 4 months, like it's like the size. It's like bigger than like definitely bigger than any small dog. It's definitely not. It's definitely huger than Chihuahua at full size, or like a Dutch Hound, little wiener dog. It's definitely bigger than that.
Definitely bigger.
Puppies just grow, man. But what about you, Cash? Do you have anything that you would recommend people listen to other than our podcast? And
let's see what I got recently. Recent listens, right? It looks like I was listening to Matchbook Romance, last song I had on.
Which album?
What's the red one called?
The one with My Eyes Burn.
Yeah, that was Stories and Alibis.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I've listened to plenty of stuff that we've interviewed, which will come out soon. Shaka D Cakes and Golden Week. Soft Cell and Pet Shop Boys put out a song recently, and they're playing it at my gym. I was like, that's interesting. Not great, but intriguing at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing Aim High, Discord Theory, Dropout
What?
Kings. I just saw them. I mean, new Bill Murray, Sky Furia, Marina, Diamandis. If y'all know who that is, Slater. Uh, you know, I guess I was kind of listening to like Never Shout Never recently because there's this one song I really like. Here Goes Nothing, but like there's nothing like I can't find any other music by them that really sounds like that. That's all just like playing ukulele or whatever, and I'm like not really into that. But
Yeah. My ook. Me and my ook.
ukulele.
Me and my uke.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. One of my favorites. Are coming out with
Yeah,
music soon.
those dudes are fire. I like that band.
You do? Yeah, dude, they're fucking good.
All right.
But
Before I get Howard, I'm gonna go make dinner, and I mean, I had French toast before we did this. Like, I kind of waited around, but I think I need to defrost my burger and make a nice little cheeseburger for dinner. I look forward to it.
cheeseburger. I'm gonna go do something in the bathroom in a second.
Wow. Thrilling content for the world to observe and admire for the 100th episode special of the Demo Team podcast. Right?
Yeah. Well,
Create-
this is the 100th. Actually, might be the 101st. I think it might be technically. I might have screwed this up. I don't know, guys. You're putting me under too much pressure to count. Well,
The cringe tag spectacular. That's what I like to call it.
yeah. I mean, shout out to all the homies, all of them. Shout out to our Ox guys too. They were helping us out a lot. We gotta do some shit with them soon. Hmm.
Always happy to have anybody here that wants to just be here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the Bandusi people are all about, right? Y'all just want to be with us. Y'all just
Just like but like with Yuri and
yeah.
everyone else that's like hopped aboard on this show and sat in a co-host
On
seat.
this leaky, slow moving boat. Y'all
Anyone that's ever helped out or just shared a link, a post, a comment, react, all of it's appreciated because I mean we're sitting here talking and blabbering about it. So obviously we believe in it. I think it means something.
we're glad that you like our memes.
Yeah, we're glad that you like chilling out with us and listening to us babble about bullshit.
You're our friends. You're our friends.
Friends
We
here.
like you guys.
We like you, you like us. We like hearing conversations about random as fuck shit.
You're invited to Ryan's birthday party.
Yeah. Come
Oh
on,
yeah,
man.
we both have December birthdays.
Do we?
Yeah. I remember
Wow.
we talked about this before. I was like, we were gonna do a dual birthday episode. See, I got lots of crazy ideas for this shit, and then usually I forget about it right before it's time to do it. Like
whack birthday episode ideas. You know, you're
it doesn't really work the same when there's only 2 of us instead of 4.
Look,
I think it would have been more fun if
pretty
back
sure
then, but
Demo Fest is more likely to happen than a dual birthday episode. I'm
oh, bet.
saying like there's better possibilities for different things to be happening in this situation. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying we should trade out some of our ambition, or
We should
I'm gonna forget.
Dual
Dual birthday episode. I'm gonna forget my birthday.
Obviously.
I might actually forget my birthday. You know what? I'm not gonna get a year older this year. I'm gonna stay 26 forever. I've decided. I've gotten too old.
Like, what do people want us to do after episode 100 and or 101, whatever it is? Like, do we play video games with band members now? Do we go like duck hunting?
Well, we had see
Do we
we have
drop?
lots of crazy ideas, and we just,
Do we start painting with them like Bob
dude,
Ross?
I'll paint with some bands. Actually, I've been painting like, I don't know, since I was in like middle school. But like, yeah, that sounds kind of fun, honestly, painting with
Do hot
bands.
ones, just like pouring
Hot
hot
ones.
on
We do
your
have to start doing stuff in person.
no, but it's
Um,
them pouring hot sauce on their instrument
oh
and playing.
yeah, I know it's kind of looks very crappy on YouTube, but shout out to the in-person interview I did with Animal Jam. Like, it's not supposed to look, it's not supposed to be so weirdly cut. It's just, it looked way better on the video editing software than it did on YouTube, but I'm still proud of it. And I kind of want to do more stuff like that.
Oh man, that's so
And
good.
yeah, Ryan, you should go do in-person interviews.
You're right.
Yeah, who you gonna interview in LA? Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, the
Fuck if
Eagles.
I get lucky. Whoever I'm lucky enough
Who
to
lives
get.
in LA? I mean, like everyone lives in LA. I mean, I guess I don't know. Yeah, everyone lives in LA.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic out here, and there's a lot of people like that go out there. I should say, since I'm in Mexico, but I mean California,
They're
Mexico.
trying to make it.
You're gonna make it on our own, but that was a terrible dated reference. Sorry to anybody that just sits there and going, "Why is he saying that? What was that?" I'm just a lot of that this episode.
Yeah, we're just shooting from the hip right now.
Babbling out into the brook of nonsense, and
Yeah, this one was quite like freeform thought for sure. Just stream of conscience.
this is the 10-hour Yule log demo team podcast episode where it's just 20 hours of
I don't
us.
even think we'd spend 10 hours. I think this has just been what?
No,
Maybe
this
an hour and a half. Of
yeah,
rambling.
shit. Realize that
Feels
it's
like a lot longer because we were very like unfocused, didn't have any plan, but
I think this
do
was
what
just
you gotta do.
I think there was an inside bet between the both of us being like, I bet I can go longer than him. I bet I can go longer than him. And now we're just stuck in an internal competition. Like when we try to fan the flames, like when people are like, dang, like it's been like 2 hours. It's like, well, if you want to get like longer episode than such and such, like if you want a Kurt Travis length episode, or if you want an Andrew Wells length.
Well, I was high key like, let's just do like a half hour. And then I don't know. Sometimes Ryan's, amazing personality just sucks me in. And I just have to keep talking with him.
I feel that.
He's just so charming.
I think we should just cut out this end part.
Nope. This is a whole hog right here.
Nah, just cut this one part out. Just this one part. Just here, now, forever.
What are you
100th
trying to say?
just cut this one part out. That's it. Like there's just one part, just like right here. You cut it out. And then
What?
everybody is, and it's like, wow, that seems like someone like cut out a part right there. And it's just like, that's just because I asked you to do it. And then like,